Well, despite its big population, San Francisco has some back-to-nature spots. And today, in one of those areas, the Presidio, volunteers pitched in to make sure it stays that way. John Ramos has got the story.
When the Army established the Presidio more than 200 years ago, they purposely changed the natural environment. For example, this area used to be a large rolling sand dune. Well, on this day, an army of volunteers showed up to help bring this area back to its ecological past.
As you can see, there's a lot of people out here today, and it takes every single one of them to get the 3,000 plants we had here put in the ground.
The annual Presidio Planting Day began, ironically enough, with the removal of a huge stand of trees that used to occupy this hillside overlooking Baker Beach. The Monterey pines, planted by the military more than a century ago, were coming to the end of their lifespans anyway, so the park decided to change things back to what they once were.
When you have a bunch of trees in here, what it does is it kind of blocks the dune sand into one place because of the really intense root structures. And so it doesn't allow for the native species that would normally grow here to grow there because they require the sand to have more movement and more light than it would under the shade of those trees.
With the trees now removed, about 100 volunteers fanned out over the 4-acre site, removing unwanted soil-locking species like ice plant and replacing them with native plants that prefer the shifting sands of a dune. 9-year-old Oliver Murray said it was pretty fun once you get the plant out of its container.
Sometimes it can be difficult because the plant is stuck in there. It's important to restore the dunes because some of these plants are like endangered, and then the animals too. Like some animals might come back.
A lot of animals disappeared when the land changed, and at least one of them can't come back. The Xerxes blue butterfly went extinct in the 1940s right here, becoming a symbol of the sometimes irreversible damage of habitat loss. But Darrell Capon has been leading an effort by the California Academy of Sciences to replace the Xerxes with a close genetic cousin, the silvery blue butterfly.
Main reason for loss of biodiversity is the transformation of habitat. So we can put those habitats back, and in some cases the butterflies are gone, so we have to move in an alternative. But in many cases the animals will come back on their own if they can disperse.
That's what they're hoping will happen once this dune is restored, and Alberto Rodriguez was more than happy to lend a hand.
It's a personal area for me. I walk through here a lot, and I wanted to help make it closer to what it might have been like, you know, hundreds of years ago. We've come here and sort of imposed ourselves upon the land, and I think it's important to respect the land as much as possible, and that includes kind of allowing it to be what it's meant to be and what it's naturally supposed to be.
From a distance, it looks like all life has been removed from the hillside, but a closer look shows that there is a place in nature for all creatures, great and small.